Hey there, have you ever wondered why things keep getting more expensive? Like, one year, your favorite snack is $1, and next year, it's $1.25. What's going on? Is someone just messing with us? This is called inflation. It's when prices go up over time. But wait, why does this happen? And if prices keep going up, won't everything get too expensive one day? Why can't prices just stay the same forever? In this video, we're going to talk about why prices rise, why it's actually good, sometimes, and what happens when things go too far, or the other way around. Let's start with a big question. Why don't we just aim for 0% inflation? Wouldn't that solve everything? Let's find why 0% inflation isn't the goal. Okay, so maybe you're thinking, wouldn't it be better if prices just stopped going up? Like, no more inflation at all? Just 0% forever? Sounds nice, right? But actually, not really. Here's why. When inflation is at 0%, it usually means the economy is not growing much. People aren't spending. Businesses aren't earning more. And workers? They're probably not getting raises either. Imagine this. You own a small shop. If your prices don't go up, your profit stays the same. But your costs, like rent or electricity, might still rise. That means you're earning less. So maybe you don't hire new workers. Maybe you cut hours. And maybe your workers stop spending too, because they're not making more money. See how it all connects? A little inflation actually helps. It shows that people are spending money, earning money, and the economy is alive and moving. So nope, 0% inflation isn't the dream. But what's the right amount? Hold that thought. We'll get there. First, let's see how inflation can help the economy grow. The virtuous cycle. How inflation keeps the economy moving. So now you know, a little inflation is a good thing. But why? How does it help the economy? Let's break it down. It all starts when people spend money. Maybe you buy a new phone, new shoes, or go out for dinner. When you spend, the store or restaurant makes money. Now what do they do with that money? They pay their workers, buy more stuff to sell, and maybe even hire more people. And those workers? They also spend money. Maybe on rent, food, clothes, and so on. This is called a cycle. The money keeps going around. Everyone is buying, selling, earning, and spending. And when this keeps happening, the economy grows. Here's where inflation comes in. If prices go up slowly, just a little, it's actually a sign this cycle is working. It means people have jobs. Businesses are doing well. There's demand for stuff, wages are growing. This is called the virtuous cycle. Sounds fancy, but really, it just means good things cause more good things. That's why a little inflation is not scary. It's part of a healthy, growing economy. But what if prices go up too fast? That's when things get messy. Let's talk about that next. What happens when inflation gets out of control? Okay, so a little bit of inflation is good. But what if prices start rising too fast? Like, you buy eggs today for $3, and next week they're $4, and the week after they're $5? That's called high inflation, and if it gets really bad, it turns into something scary called hyperinflation. Let's break this down. Why is high inflation bad? Because it kills trust in money. If prices keep jumping every week, people rush to spend their money before it loses more value. They stop saving. They don't know what tomorrow's prices will be. So they panic. Imagine getting paid $100 today. But by next month, that $100 can only buy half of what it used to. You'd feel cheated, right? Real life example? Take Zimbabwe. In the 2000s, prices went up so fast, the government started printing bigger and bigger bills. At one point, they had a $100 trillion note, and it still couldn't buy a full meal. Or Venezuela, where money lost value so quickly, people used cash to make paper crafts because it was worth more as paper than money. In these cases, people stopped trusting their own money and switched to US dollars or even barter, trading goods directly. What causes this? A few big reasons. The government prints too much money. There's not enough stuff, food, gas, goods, to buy wars, political chaos, or broken economies. So now you have too much money chasing too few things. Prices explode. Businesses can't plan. People can't save. The economy starts to fall apart. And here's the worst part. When inflation gets out of control, It's really hard to stop. The more people panic, the worse it gets. It's like a fire that spreads fast. So yeah, too much inflation is bad news. But there's something even sneakier, and it sounds like the opposite. Let's talk about what happens when why falling prices are worse. Deflation. So we talked about what happens when prices go up too fast and how bad that is. But what if prices go the other way? What if things start getting cheaper? That sounds good, right? Cheaper food, cheaper clothes, cheaper rent. Who wouldn't want that? But here's the twist. When all prices drop for a long time, it's not a good thing. In fact, it's worse than high inflation. This is called deflation. What is deflation? Deflation means prices are going down, not just for one item, but across the whole economy. And not just for a week or two. It keeps happening. Sounds like a sale, but here's the problem. When prices fall, people stop spending. Let's say you want a new laptop, but you hear that next month it might be cheaper. What do? You wait. And if you think it'll be even cheaper next month, you wait again. Now imagine millions of people doing that, waiting to buy. What happens next? Stores don't make money. They lower prices even more to try to sell things still. People wait. Businesses lose more. They cut jobs or shut down people. Lose income. Now they can't buy things even if they want to. This is how the economy starts to freeze. It's like hitting pause on everything. Look at Japan in the 1990s. Their economy slowed down, prices started falling, and people stopped spending. For years, Japan struggled with low demand, slow growth, and falling prices. Even when interest rates were super low, people were too nervous to borrow or spend. It was called the lost decade. Actually, it lasted longer than a decade. Economists call this a deflationary spiral. Once it starts, it's very hard to stop. Even though cheaper prices might feel good in the short term, falling prices for everything, all the time, hurt the economy. People stop spending. Businesses stop growing. Jobs disappear. The economy slows down or even crashes. So just like with inflation, we don't want too much, but we also don't want none at all or negative inflation. That's why we aim for something in the middle. Let's talk about that next. Why we target just a little inflation. So now we know too much inflation is bad. Falling prices, deflation, are also bad. So, what's the solution? The answer is, we aim for just a little bit of inflation. Not too high, not too low. Most countries aim for around 2% inflation every year. That means prices go up a little, slowly, not crazy fast, not falling, just a small, steady rise. Why 2%? Why not 0%? Let's break it down. It keeps people spending and the economy moving. If people know prices will go up a little each year, they're more likely to buy now instead of waiting. Remember what happens in deflation? Everyone waits. But with small inflation, people feel safe to spend, and that keeps the economy running. It gives room to grow wages. If prices rise a bit, businesses can raise prices, make more money, and pay workers more. A little inflation makes raises feel real. For example, if prices go up 2%, but your salary goes up 4%, you're actually doing better. You're earning more than things are costing. Without inflation, wages might freeze, or worse, go down. And nobody likes that. It gives central banks more tools. Here's a quick trick. When the economy slows down, central banks cut interest rates to help. But if inflation is too low, they can't cut very much. They run out of space. But with a little inflation, there's room to move. Central banks can adjust interest rates up or down, depending on what the economy needs. A small inflation cushion gives us safety. If something bad happens, like a financial crisis or a big drop in spending, we don't immediately fall into deflation territory. It's like building a small wall to stop the flood before it hits. So, why can't prices just stay the same? Okay, let's go back to the big question. Why can't prices just stay the same forever? It sounds simple. No price changes, no stress, right? But now we know it's not that easy. 0% inflation sounds nice, but it's not great. It can mean the economy is stuck. No growth, no new jobs, no pay raises. A little inflation is actually good. It keeps people spending, helps businesses grow, and allows wages to rise. It keeps the money moving. But too much inflation is a problem. If prices rise too fast, money loses value. People panic, and the economy can break down, like in Zimbabwe or Venezuela. On the flip side, Falling prices, deflation, might seem nice, but they're worse. That's why most countries aim for just a little inflation, about 2% a year. It keeps the system steady, gives room to fix problems, and protects us from bigger risks. So no, prices can't just stay the same. If they did, or if they dropped, we'd be in trouble. And if they rise too fast, that's bad too. If you want me to make other videos explaining these topics, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.